Okay, today we're going to be solving story problems that involve three significant units, okay? And a lot of them have two answers. Suppose you buy 8 oranges and 1 grapefruit for $4.60. Later that day, you buy 6 oranges and 3 grapefruits for $4.80. What is the price of each type of fruit? Okay, so there's 3 units. So I'm not going to be making the units and the line and all that. We're going to make a tic-tac-toe table, okay? So you make a big box and just make 3 rows and 3 columns. So remember how the labels you need to put. You put how many units. This row here has nothing to do with the money. You put single and total. And then on the columns you put together. Alright, so with that being said, what are the 2 things we're buying? Well, oranges and grapefruit. So oranges, grapefruit. Okay, and then money's the other unit, so I put money here and money here. Now, what's the money total together? Well, there's 2 of them. There's the $4.60. That was a total cost. And then there was also a $4.80. That was a total cost. So there are 2 total costs right there when you buy the oranges and grapefruit together because they brought different amounts. Now cross those off. And now these are the units that have nothing to do about money. So let's look at the 8. So 8 and 1, those aren't money amounts. That says 8 oranges, so I want to put 8 here. 1 grapefruit, I put 1 here. Now I'm leaving some room here because we have more how many units. 6 oranges, so we can put 6 here. And 3 grapefruits, we put 3 there. Okay, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to X that out. And in the middle row, I'm going to X that out because that box is just kind of there. It doesn't occupy anything. Now, we do not know how much the oranges cost. We also don't know how much the grapefruit cost. Okay, so I'm going to put X and Y. So, down here with our money total for oranges, well, this guy bought 8, but we don't know how much they cost, so we write the expression 8x. This guy bought 6, we don't know how much they cost, so we write the expression 6x. 1y and 3y. And then what I have to do, since I have x and y in this table, I need to kind of make a cross because I need to solve using a system of equations, okay? So these are my 2 equations. I have 8x plus 1y. Just look at the bottom row. 8x plus 1y equals 4.60. And 6x plus 3y equals 4.80. Okay, we have to use elimination because I do not have the isolated variable. So what's the absolute value of 8? Don't know it. What's the absolute value? Well, the absolute value of 8 is 8. The absolute value of 6 is 6. That's not a match. The absolute value of 1 is 1. The absolute value of 3 is 3. That's not a match. So we are going to have to multiply. So dot, 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 dot. So take your first number on bottom, 6. Take that to the top, 6, 6, and 6. And that 8, take that to the bottom. Multiply them all by 8. So 8x times 6 is 48x. 1y times 6 is 6y. And then I'm going to take 4.60 times 6. That's 39.6. Or, yeah, no, that's wrong. 4.60 times 6, 27.6. Okay, and then on bottom, 6x times 8 is 48x. 3y times 8 is 24y. And 4.80 times 8 is 38.4. Okay, so now I have a match here, so I can go ahead and add, but the problem is 48 plus 48 is not 0. You need to do the sign switch. So that 48 becomes negative, that 24 becomes negative, and that 38.4 becomes negative. Now add. 48 plus negative 48 gives you 0. Okay? That now can be eliminated. 6 plus negative 24 is negative 18y. And 27.6 plus negative 38.4 is negative 10.8. And now I divide by negative 18. Canceling that, and y equals 0.6, okay? Okay, so the y is under grapefruit. Here's y. That's under the grapefruit, so the grapefruit costs 60 cents, not 6 cents. Okay, now remember in elimination, to get your second solution, you're going to copy one of the originals. Let's go with this one. 8x plus 1y equals 460. And I have my answer for y, so I'm going to scribble that out, put 0.6 in. I'm going to need to find that product there. So I have 8x. 1 times 0.6 is 0.6 equals 4.60. Okay. And then I undo the plus 0.6 through subtraction. And that gives me 4. So 8x equals 4. And then divide by 8. Now, that is not, the answer is not 2, okay? And you're thinking, well, 4 times 8, 8 times 4. Yeah, but that division, the commutative property, doesn't work, okay? The top number, 4 divided by 8, is not 2. It is actually 0.5. Use your calculator, okay? So x equals 0.5, which means I would have 50 cents, okay? Next problem. A concession stand sells pretzels and popcorn. Pretzels cost $3 each, while popcorn costs $2 each. There were twice as many pretzels as popcorn orders. If $384 was collected, how many of each type were sold? So again, I have 3 units, and my job is to find the number of pretzels and the number of popcorn. Not what they cost, but how many of them there are. So 3 units, we make the tic-tac-toe. So money single, money total. And I've got pretzels and popcorn. And then right there, by the way, not total, it's together. Sorry. Changing that together. Now, what is my total cost? My total cost is $384. Just one total cost in this one. There's only one order, unlike last one where there were 2 orders. Now, we are looking right here for any non-money amounts, okay? Any non-money amounts. I don't really see any, okay? So I'm going to leave that empty for now, okay? All right, now in the second row, what are the money amounts? Pretzels, what do they cost? $3. Remember, this is for non-money amounts. That means how many, okay? Popcorn, okay? How much that cost? Well, that costs $2, okay? So we're going to cross out the 3, and we're going to cross out the 2. But I have nothing up here. Well, I need something up here if I expect to write an equation here. There's another piece of information that was given to me. That was twice. Now, if I don't know 2 things, but I know one is twice more than the other, we are going to use the expressions 2x and x, not x plus 2. That would be 2 more than. With twice, we write 2x and x. Now you need to read that sentence and put the 2x in the one that's twice as more. So it says, there were twice as many pretzels. So 2x would be our pretzels and x would be our popcorn. And we really don't need this right here, okay? So 2x times 3 would be 6x. And then x times 2 would be 2x equals, okay? And I can just write one equation because I do not have a y variable in this, okay? It's not a system. It's just a simple linear equation. 6x plus 2x equals 384. So that gives me 8x equals 384. And then divide by 8. So 384 divided by 8. Okay, 48. Okay, if you don't know which one that is, go find where the x all by itself is. It's right here. Okay, don't use x, just scribble that out. It's right here, and that's under popcorn. Okay, so that's 48 bags of popcorn. And you're like, well, how do you find the pretzels? Well, we know that x is 48. What would 2 times 48 be? 2 times 48 would be 96. Okay, 96 pretzels. Okay, next problem. Your school sells tickets for its winter concert. There are 50 student tickets and 35 adult tickets that have been sold for a total of $600. Adult tickets cost $5 more than student tickets. How much does each type of ticket cost? So again, we're finding the cost of adults, cost of students. So I make my table. So how many units? The cost for a single and the cost for a total. Because money is a unit, so I just put it above those. And then I write together. And then I put my other 2 units, the students and the adults. So students and adults. Okay, get a money total first. The money total we have is $600. There's only one, okay? Only one. Cross it off. Okay, this row. This is for non-money amounts, okay? Non-money. Doesn't go in this row, okay? So 50 is a non-money amount, and that would go for students. Okay. 35 is not a money amount. That goes for adults. Okay. And those are all my non-money amounts, and I will not need this, so I'm going to scribble it out. Okay. You can leave it empty or scribble it out, 1 and 2. Now we're going to be on the hunt for money amounts. I see this $5, but I don't just put 5 because there's a word after it. It says $5 more. Okay. When it's more than, so last problem it said twice, so we went 2x and x, but with more than, we don't go 5x and x, we put x plus 5 and x. Okay, that is how you write 2 unknowns with a more than amount. Okay, and that's what we're going to put in these, okay? So the adults cost $5 more, so the adults can be x plus 5, and the students can be x, and I don't need that row. So 50 times x is 50x. But now, what we need to do about this plus is we need to put a 1 in front and draw the distributive property rainbows. And that means I'm going to multiply 35 times each term. So 35 times 1x, 35x. And then 35 times 5, 175. Okay, equals. Now my question to you, do I have a y variable in here at all? A y? Nope, only x. So I can just write one equation. I don't have to make a system. So we want to fill out, we want to put the total, we want to fill out these rows as much as we can, okay? All right, so these are on the same side. I make my adding pyramid, and that's 85x plus 175 equals 600. Okay, so we minus 175 from both sides. And 85x is going to be equal to 425, and then divide by 85. So I take 425 divided by 85, and that's going to be 5. Okay. So again, find where the x by itself sits. Right here, that's under students. So the students are $5, and then the adults just cost $5 more. So I just do a plus 5, and that's 10. Okay, adults are $10, students are $5. Okay, next problem. A grocery store sells tickets for its winter concert. Student tickets are $5 and adult tickets are $10. If your school sells 85 tickets and makes $600, how many of each type of ticket did they sell? Okay, again, 3 units. We're finding how many student tickets, how many adult tickets were sold. So 3 units means we're going with the tic-tac-toe table. Okay, so how many single, total, and then right here we put together, and my 2 primary units are the students and adults. Those kind of go together. So students, adults, and then money. So money single, money total. What's your money total? That's where you got to go first, 600. So I need to place my total, money total. Now, this is for non-money amounts. That's a money amount, it does not go in this row. That's a money amount, it does not go in this row. Oh, that's not a money amount. That belongs here, okay? School sells 85 tickets, but it doesn't say they're students or adults. Oh, that must be the amount they had together. Okay? And when they give me the together amount, I call this unknown X and this unknown Y. Okay? Now let's go into row number 2. Cross that out. Now we're looking for money amounts that are left. $5, that's for students. $10, that's for adults. Okay? So X times 5 is 5X. Y times 10 is 10Y. Now, do you have the Y variable in this table? Did you have to use the Y variable in this table? Yes, you did. So you need to make a cross for a system. Okay? And you know that that's one of the equations right there. Now, if you're wondering, well, where's the other equation? Look at the top row. Because we have this. We also have this. So those are my 2 equations. X plus Y equals 85. You would be smart to put 1s in front because neither variable is isolated. They're being added together. And then the bottom one. So 5X plus 10Y equals 600. Okay, so we have to go again. You always have to go use the elimination method. Okay, so here's my X's, here's my Y's. Do I have a common absolute value in front of the X's? No, 1 and 5 don't have a common absolute value. Neither do 1 and 10. So I need to multiply. Dot, 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 dot. So I have a 5 here. So 5, 5, 5, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so 1x times 5 would be 5x. 1y times 5 would be 5y. 85 times 5, heck if I know. 425, okay. 5x times 1 is 5x. 10y times 1 is 10y. And then 600 times 1 is 600. Okay, now I have my match right here, but the problem is when I add, 5 plus 5 is not 0. So we got to make the bottom opposite. Negative, negative, negative. So now when we add, those 5's cancel. 5 plus negative 10 is negative 5y. Negative 175. Okay. So I divide by negative 5. And negative 175 divided by negative 5 is going to be 35. Okay, now that's my answer for y. Okay, so y is adults. So we had 35 adults. Now, we're going to use the original top equation. There is a quick way to find the other answer. If you see it, put it. But if not, just do what you normally do. Since we have our answer for y, we're going to replace y with 35. So I have 1x plus 35 equals 85. Okay. So plus 35, I'm going to minus 35. And 1x equals 50. Okay, so 50. Okay, next one. Adult tickets to a play cost $22. Tickets for children cost $15. Tickets for 11 people cost a total of $228. How many children, how many adults were in this group? So I'm going to put my answers real quick down here. So we have the money, children, and adults. Okay, so we want to find out how many children, how many of them. We know what they cost, we just don't know how many, and the adults. Okay, so 3 units, get that 9-box thing drawn. So how many? The money for a single, the money for total. Okay. All right, and then we have adults, children, and together. Okay, give me a total cost, $228. Again, it's got to be total cost right there together. They should give you that. Most of these problems give you that right away. Find amounts that aren't money. That's money, doesn't belong here. That's money, doesn't belong here. Okay, that's not money, but it says 11, so that goes here. But it's not adults or children. It's 11 people, so that's together. And if we know the together but not the individuals, we have to use X and Y. Okay, now look for money amounts. Don't ever use that. Okay, so adults, how much do they cost? $22. Cross that, and then $15 would be our children. Okay, so it's 22x and 15y. Since we have x and y, we need to make the system cross. So I have this equation, there's an equation, and if I look up top, I have this equation. So x plus y equals 11, and 22x plus 15y equals 228. Okay. Now, with that being said, we need to use elimination. Put ones in front of there. No match for the absolute values, so you're going to have to multiply. Very seldom do you get a match with the absolute values on a story problem. So 22, take 22 to the top. Take 1 to the bottom, okay? So 1x times 22 is 22x. 1y times 22 is 22y. I need to take 11 times 22, 242. 22x plus 15y equals 228. Okay. All right, we have our match right there with the x's, but again, 22 plus 22 is not 0. Okay, think about that. It's 44. Well, we can fix that if we change these all to negative, to the opposite. okay, because they're all positive. So that will cancel. 22 plus negative 15 is 7y. 242 plus negative 228 is 14, and then divide by 7, and y is 2, okay? So y, the children, that's equal to 2. And then again, if you see that the answers, if you know, well, 11, and then I know that that's 2, well, you probably could find that easier in your head, but if that's not clicking for you, use the top equation. Just the original top equation, one of the two originals, probably easier to do the top. And just replace your y with 2. Okay? So you got 1x plus 2 equals 11. So minus 2, minus 2, and 1x equals 9. Okay? Okay. Next problem. An artist is going to sell 2 sizes of prints at an art fair. Okay. The artist will charge $20, underline money, for a small print and $45 for a large print. The artist would like to sell twice as many small prints as large prints. The artist needs to earn $510 in order to break even. How many of each type of size print must the artist sell in order to break even? Okay, so we want to know the small and the large. Okay, so 3 units. Make your table. Okay, so how many units? The money for a single. The money for total. Okay. And then small, large, and together. Okay, money total. You got one, it's 510. So if you put it in there, you need to cross it off. Okay. Look for non-money amounts. That's a money amount, doesn't go here. That's a money amount, doesn't go here. All right, so I don't know anything about this right now. I'll come back to it. Let's get the numbers out of the way first. $20, that's a money amount, so that's small. That's a money amount, and that's large. And again, we don't need this. All right, now I need things to go here because I need to multiply vertically. What else did they tell me? I mean, I'm out of numbers. Oh, twice. Twice is, instead of x plus 2 and x, it's going to be 2x and x, because it's 2 times. But you're going to fill that in here, but you got to fill it in the right place, okay? Twice as many small prints, okay? So that goes here, and then x right here. So 2x times 20 is 40x, and x times 45 is 45x. Okay, here's your equation. Now, do you need to make a system? I don't think you do, because y is not in this table. So I just write the one equation I have, and I'll be able to find everything I need from there. These x's are on the same side, so add. So it's 85x and 510. Okay. Now divide by 85. So 510 divided by 85. I got 6, okay? Okay, so x is right there under large, so there's 6 large. And then what was that word at the end? The other thing we didn't know? How many small? Well, that's 2x, so with twice we can just take that times 2, okay? And that's 12.